Hey, what is up, guys? We are here with the Shinnok character breakdown. If you guys haven't seen our character breakdown videos before, we talk about a character's notable normals, strings, special moves, differences between their variations, as well as a basic game plan. So, when we're looking at Shinnok, he's a pretty slow character as far as walk speed goes, forward and backwards. It's not super fast. His run speed is really, really quick, though, but walk speed's definitely not too quick. He's a relatively defensive character with his projectiles and everything, but he does have some pretty neat mix-ups once he gets in there. And he has some stuff that can be pretty tricky. I think he's a pretty neat character, pretty entertaining. So universally, he has some pretty neat strings. He gains a bunch of different ones in Bone Shaper, which we'll get to. But some of them, some of the normals that I really like. His back one like this, lunging mid like that, really great. Back two as well, really far range and has that knockback at the end of it, which is really nice. Forward three, which looks like that. It's kind of like a step with a boot. Back three, which is his low, has a couple of strings on it, especially in Bone Shaper, has some interesting ones. And his forward two is a really great move for him. Has a ton of range on it. He can also do forward 2-2-4, which is a string special cancelable at the end as well. So there is that. Now, as far as his special moves go, he has a couple of universal ones. He has that shoulder that you guys saw right there. EX version looks like that. Has a little blast at the end of it. Sends him full screen. He's got his Hell Sparks, which is his main projectile, which is down back 2. Now, the interesting thing about this is it has a little pop-up on it. The third hit, you can EX it separately to make it comboable pretty easy. You can jump forward and combo off of it relatively easy, but you don't have to just EX the last version. You can do EX the first version as well. And there's an EX version of the Fireball, which can be... You can spend a bar on that too. So you can spend 2 bars on that. It does a little extra damage. His other move that's universal is Amulet Strike, which is back forward 1. Looks like that. It's a high. And the EX version has a close little explosion that sends them full screen like that. It's just like that. Nothing too spectacular. But when it comes to his different variations, in Imposter, he gains like a Shang Tsung type thing where he has a move called Mimicry, which is down back 1. It hits your opponent with it. You gain a new special move depending on the opponent. So one of the, for instance, if I hit down back 1 again, I get Liu Kang's Flying Dragon Kick. So that is just an example of the move that you'll steal. The other thing he gains in Imposter is his teleport, which is down up. So if you hit down up, you'll teleport behind them. If you hit down up and hold back, you'll teleport in front. So that's how his teleport works, if you guys were wondering. I know a lot of you guys were probably curious if you've seen it before and you wonder why, sometimes they landed in the front, sometimes they landed in the back. Now you know. So yeah, and one of the things I wanted to show you is his move list. As far as strings go, he has very few strings, right? Especially in this one. And his special moves, he has a couple of them that can get, pretty lengthy, right? Especially these are the 2 in this variation. But yeah, his combo list is very short. Now we're going to switch to Bone Shaper. Now Bone Shaper, like I mentioned, has a bunch of unique combos and a couple of unique normals. So if you go to his combo strings, you can see he gains a bunch of new ones. And he also gains a unique normal, which is called God Strike. So let's talk about some of these normals. Forward 2 looks like this. This is God Strike. You can see the range on it is pretty incredible, right? He has a couple of strings out of this. Forward 2, and 1+3 is a little throw that drags him in like that. He has his back 3, 1, down 2, which looks like this. And you can also hit up 2 at the end. It does like a little finisher where he like stabs him up like that. And then his forward 3 has a pretty similar string. It's forward 3, 1, down 2. And then you can do the little finisher at the end of this as well. Looks just like that. So, yeah, he gains a lot of rangy normals on this that he doesn't have previously in Bone Shaper. He also gains 3 different special moves. He gains his Scepter Slam, which is down forward 2. And it has insane range. Like, it lunges incredible amounts. And the EX version pops him up, combo off of it, whatever you want. So that's pretty great in combos as well. You can confirm it, and you can have these great normals to confirm into. So it's really great in this variation. Lots of footsies, lots of ways to convert him into damage. He also has his Scepter Strike, which is down back 1. Looks like that. It is unblockable. EX version looks like that. It has a little bit more damage on it. So it looks like that. Pretty interesting move. A lot of characters have ground pounds or unblockables pretty similar. He also has a projectile, which is really good, which is back forward 1. It replaces his Amulet Strike, and it is a mid. EX version looks like that. It does 12%. Fairly quick on startup. Kind of has a lot of recovery. Like if I try to jump after, you can see how long it takes me before I'm able to jump. Pretty long recovery on that. But that is his Bone Shaper. So let's take a look at Necromancer. You'll probably be able to tell Necromancer out from the other 2 if you look at his hands because they look significantly different. The other thing that's unique about Necromancer is he has 3 different special moves. He doesn't have any other variations. He has Summon Fiend, which is down forward 4. Or excuse me, down forward 4. I don't know why I did back forward. So it looks like that. If it hits as the mid, it grabs him like that. EX version, little pop-up. So if you're close up, you can combo off it, with, neutral jump punch or something. I don't know, whatever you want to combo into. So there's more combo opportunity there. He has Judgment Fist, which is down back 1. Looks like this, a little unblockable, comes from the sky. Now you can avoid it, right? So if I set myself to player 2 and then I record the AI doing this, when I see him start up, I can just kind of forward dash out of it or run up and punish him. Whoops. But if you do sit there and block it, you're going to get clipped. You can actually backdash it if you're careful as well. So yeah, it's not like it's unavoidable or anything, but it can be pretty tough to deal with sometimes. So yeah, that is his Judgment Fist. If you're not looking for that and you're looking for that, then it can be pretty tricky to get out of. The other thing he has is Devil Slick, which is back forward 2. The thing about this move is that it is very, it's really actually pretty quick and relatively safe on block. And the EX version does about 15%. So it does more than the other version, and cost yourself a bar. So this is pretty much Shinnok in a nutshell, right? He's a pretty defensive character. He has some pretty decent normals that help him cover distance on the screen. But just like Goro, he is relatively simple, right? He's relatively straightforward. He doesn't have a ton of strings. He is relatively limited in his special moves. There's not like a billion of them, right? Some characters have like 10 special moves that you can switch through, but he doesn't have that many. He's relatively straightforward, which I think is pretty interesting, and he's a pretty cool character design. I especially like how his fireballs work, and mimicry and imposter I think is a really, really neat skill or special move, and I'm glad that they brought something similar to that back, right? Because there is no Shang Tsung in this game, so if you guys are a fan of that character, you can go to mimicry and use that as your Shang Tsung-esque character. So yeah, Shinnok's pretty neat. I definitely recommend checking him out once you have unlocked him. He's a pretty fun character. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the character breakdowns. When more characters come out, I will cover all of them. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys again soon.